Hey now, oh god. Oh gosh, we're not gonna start that again. Okay, so on my podcast, Rambunctious Bombastic Newscast, aka RB and the Voice Notes, I say how lovely a cow, but here it's like, hey there, Rockstar. As keep it different in it. Yeah. Okay, so our last video was about forgiveness. Now, this video is going to be about letting go. Sometimes some people do things, you know, for me, letting go is more like saying, you know what, that happened. This thing happened over here. We're going to ignore it now and just attempt to fudge things together. And sometimes you have to let someone know that someone's life is going to be drastically altered because of this thing that happened or the thing that didn't happen. But honestly, there's certain things in my life where, like, well, that happened, and like, there's nothing what can be done about it. There's nothing that can be repaired about it. That person is dead to me. So many strangers die every single day. Like, well, that stranger be any different? Like, true tea. I mean, whatever else. And so certain things can be situational as well. But then it's like, I can't... It's almost scary, the amount of people that walk through the earth just like going with the wind, as it were. Not even the wind, like going with the if an amoeba hit them in the wrong way, they'd like go dramatic. If a bacterium, if a virum, if hit them on the right cheek, they'd like go all the way to the left, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, you get those cars which are too delicate. Like, if a leaf were to fall on the windshield, then like the whole thing would just collapse in on itself. Oh gosh, like those kind of people, and like I'm like, you know what? I just don't not these people in my life anymore. It's like I kind of want people who I mean, you know, not like I'm a drama queen or anything like that. But like, I'm just, as a guy, maybe it's a guy. Well, I haven't been a woman yet, so I don't really know what that's all about. But I have the feeling that with men in particular, they don't want to even acknowledge that they have feelings about things. And people who are in my life who should acknowledge, who you'd think on paper they'd be, ugh, girl. I always get edibles when I talk too fast. Gosh, but it's like I don't even want to acknowledge like your feelings, and like they don't want to validate what you're feeling right now. And it's like, again, I'm not someone who's like has a that kind of way. If you are, then more power to you. But it's like, hey yo, can you at least acknowledge like what happened? Can we do that? Can we be like, you know what? Can we just sit down and be like, you know what? I think that this thing should be different. You know, I can let it go now, but you need to acknowledge that that thing happened and life in itself has changed because of that. So then I can let it go, and then we can move on. Because at this point, it's not even the elephant in the room; it's blocking the doorway. So, so it's like, can we at least like it's here? Can we at least like move it out of the way so that we can like go through this room together? You know, but it's very important to let things go. And for me, like, I'm like things which like don't really add up to nothing, add up to anything. Like cancel plans, someone being late, blah 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 blah. Again, I'm not perfect, so like, even if I was, like, I'm not that kind of person like that to be really like about everything. But it seems like the small things people seem to like harp up on with me. But the big things, like the bigger picture, it's like, hang on a minute, this thing significantly altered the way I view the world. All of a sudden, that needs to be swept on the rug, that needs to be ignored, so that people can like move on. It's like, absolutely not. And it's weird how how I talk about this in my podcast in like later episodes. If you wanna stay in tune for those. And everyone deserves to feel valid in the way that they are, but if your sense of validation is you being a stoic, emotionless asshole, then keep it. Legit. And some people have found that out the hard way, but yeah, unless you want to at least acknowledge something again, like you can't let it go, can you? Otherwise, what is there to let go? And if you want to ignore that bad thing happened, then why don't we ignore the good thing that happened? Like, who's to say that any of this is real in the first place? You know? Just weird. And then they want to, like, oh, that was the past. Like, no, hun, the past informs the future. You think that I can live to 24 without living through years 0 to 23? Like, did I just alakazam and then out comes, gosh, and it's like, oh, you should do this. Like, maybe, but I didn't feel like you deserve it. I didn't feel like, not you right now, but I didn't feel like that one deserves it. So why should I? I thought the whole thing was to give back. I can't give back to a person who hasn't given in the first place, you know? So that is about letting go. Which hopefully that was useful to you. Yeah, letting go is important, and bygones will be bygones, but it's like, things need to be acknowledged first, and then emotions need to be like drawn out, flattened, and then you can move on. Because I've had a situation where I moved on almost too quickly sometimes with things, but the other person didn't, and I was like, okay, why is this something seems to be up in the air over here, and then eventually the thing came to light, and I was like, well then why do you not say that all the way back then? And that's that situation where it's like you have to sit on the psychology of it, like this, like the BS that I've been through. But like that was just like a lose off one time thing. So I don't know. So yeah, that's been RBN Unforgiveness. On letting go. Forgive me for that. Anyway, yes. So if you want more of that style of content, something. If that's word which people want to use today, then who am I still to know? So if you want more of that style of content, then check out my podcast, Rambunctious Bombastic Newscast, aka Arbin the Voice Notes. It's on Spotify and pretty much anywhere where you would expect a podcast to be. I'll leave links down in the description. And yeah, please check it out. Thank you. Peace. Oh yeah, and subscribe and like and leave a bell and leave a comment and what else? Add to playlists. Add to, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and yeah. Oh gosh, this is so goofy. Okay, that's it for me. Bye.